Let's transition to the English Premier League. Started up this past week. I think it's gonna be a very interesting Premier League season. This is my prediction, by the way. I didn't do it on the last show, but I'll give my top four prediction right now. I think that Manchester City is going to win the championship. I think they're just so deep. You look at Grealish now joining the squad. I think the Harry Kane situation, which we'll get to in a few moments, I think he's gonna. There's too much smoke there, and there's too much of a desire for him to be part of Manchester City. I think it happens within the next few. Well, it has to happen within the next few weeks, since because the transfer window will close and I have to wait till January. And the fact that he did not dress and participate in that contest against Manchester City for Tottenham, that just shows that they are ready to move on from each other. It's just a matter of money and semantics. But I think yeah, Manchester City will win that. I have Liverpool finishing second, and Chelsea and Manchester United kind of rounded out. I think each of those teams are very good. I just think Liverpool now they could use a little bit more depth in their lineup to compete because they have to compete in four competitions as of right now. You have the English Premier League, Champions League, the FA Cup, and then the League Cup. I don't know if they have enough depth to really contend for all four of those at a high level. But I think that they're such a veteran squad. Jurgen Klopp is a tremendous manager. I think they find their way to finish second. I think Manchester United is third. Now I can see United finish second and Liverpool third. That would not surprise me at all. But that's the way I have it right now. I think Chelsea finds their way to finish fourth with their squad. Leicester, you can't ignore Leicester. I want to say they're a little engine that could, but I mean, they've won the Premier League in the past. They've been in the finished in the top four multiple times since then. So it's not like they're a a little engine that could anymore. They are now they're at the level of the two Manchester teams and Liverpool and Chelsea, defending the Champions League champions. There are they at that level? Probably not, but you can't ignore what Brendan Rodgers does there. So you have to look at them as a top four contender as well. And the other people you would think of at Tottenham, I just don't think that. I think the Harry Kane situation, once he moves on from the team, I think there's not going to be enough for them to be in that top level. Our Arsenal, and I'm an Arsenal supporter, they're a mess right now. Things like that. But as I said, my top four is pretty much as what's expected. The order of it can go back forth, but City ultimately I think wins the championship this year, at least the English Premier League. But the big team showed up in the first week of action for them. Liverpool, I said, beat Norwich. Firmino scoring a goal was big for them. I think their best three ultimately that when they're at their best form is Firmino, Salah, and Mane, and that's in that front three. I mean, I know they've tried to alternate with some different people in there, but when those three are going, I know Firmino didn't have as much goal scoring as the production from him as they would have liked last year, but still, he is such a creative force up there. And Salah and Mane are lethal scorers as well. But I think Firmino is the one that when he is kind of in the middle of that, they're in their best form. Van Dijk coming back was big. And knee injury October last year, his first match since that injury in October. They're going to work his way back into form and become, some would say, the best defender in the world. So when you have him there, that's a really good squad. But their first 11 are stout. It's that second 11 where when you're playing all those competitions, you might be concerned with, especially if someone gets injured. Like they were dealt the injury bug last year, especially with their central defenders. That really hurt Liverpool last year. That can happen if that happens again this year. They could be in a tough spot. So we'll see what happens with Liverpool. Manchester United scored 5 goals against Leeds in their victory. Paul Pogba having 4 assists in that contest is very big. When he's engaged and into it, and with Pogba, tremendous talent, but it seems like every 4 months he's unhappy. He wants to transfer. He's unhappy with the direction of the team. All those distractions, but if he is on point and focused, and it seems like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has him at least the beginning of this year on a good path, he could be a player of the year candidate in the Premier League. He is that special and that talented if he is mentally into it. And that first match against Leeds, you saw him engaged in that contest, just really good. And United with Fernandez and Rashford, and they should have Greenwood. They should have no issues scoring goals. You think defensively, De Gea's back. He's seems like another guy that you was every 6 months unhappy with his spot on the team and things like that. He's the first team goalkeeper he's implemented in there. When Maguire another year under that system, the captain of the team, you figure that Manchester United is right there as a team that can contend. Midfield is always a question with them, but I think they can have a really solid campaign. Chelsea beat Crystal Palace. Crystal Pulisic scored a goal for in that contest, so a very good start for the American. Chelsea coming off of the Champions League victory last year. You have to figure a lot of confidence going into this season, but I think Chelsea is right there as far as contending for a European spot, as far as the Champions League, being a top four squad. Tottenham, big win over Manchester City at home. We went over the Harry Kane situation. Nuno, new manager from the team, transition obviously manager of Wolves the past few years, elevating them from the championship to the Premier League and keeping them up there and finishing top half of the standings with Wolves. He's a tremendous manager. I think they have some stability there now. We've seen them have getting rid of. I still think getting rid of Pacino was a wrong move for them, and then bringing in Jose Mourinho. He did not work out well there. I think Nuno, he knows the Premier League. We've seen what he can work with the resources at Wolves. Obviously, he gets a big boost in that with Tottenham. I think he's going to be a really good manager there that can last by Tottenham standards a few years, which is a long time. Obviously, the Harry Kane situation got to figure out, and we'll see what happens there with that. I will admit I've watched been watching football, soccer for a few years and following it. I've never heard of the Christmas tree formation. I've seen it, and people say the 4-3-2-1, but to actually hear it called the Christmas tree, that was unique to me. And that's what they used against Manchester City. Obviously, Son was the one in that formation, and he scored the lone goal of the contest. And he looks like he's going to be up for the challenge to be the goal scorer, the main guy up front for Tottenham. Now, Kane was a big such. I will say this: the one thing that with the was Jose Moreno. The thing he did well for Tottenham is having Harry Kane play more of a back position and being more of a distributor of the ball. That expanded Harry Kane's game, and Son was a beneficiary of a lot of Kane passes for goals. But I think so. You have that situation going on, but I think that gave Son confidence as well, being more active and involved in the offense. Can he carry that over for an entire season, being the main guy